Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round number 4 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge's 11th season, presented by the SCCA Foundation and Buttkicker here on Apex Racing TV. I'm Greg Ginsburg, and right here by my side in the commentary box is Larry Lettuce McLeod, along with Jonathan Grabowski, working behind the scenes, giving us all the best views of tonight's action. Following on the heels of Petit Le Mans and the Mini Mite Sports Car Challenge's successful outing here last week, tonight our GTP, GT3, and LMP2 racers descend upon Brazelton, Georgia, ready to take on a course that incorporates 3 Fs: flow, feel, and fear. Whether it be the blind corners and decreasing radius downhill S's, the threshold braking zone at the end of its long draftable back straight, or that final foreboding downhill drop to the finish line, our combatants will be challenged non-stop tonight for 75 minutes. So good evening, Larry, and welcome back to Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta.
We are. I kind of feel the deja vu, like we were just here.
Yes.
But where we are, in fact, is we're in round 4 out of 8, which means halfway points coming up in this wild and crazy season. It's one of those where some seasons things start to really shape up. We really start to figure out who are the contenders and everybody else. But this season seems to be a little bit odd. Maybe it's these 50-car fields or 44 that we have tonight. Maybe it's been the chaos in lap 1 we've seen in a couple of rounds. But it has been an interesting season so far. But maybe at the end of tonight, we'll have a better idea of who the contenders may be, and could be anybody. So what it means tonight, though, one of these drivers has to step up, get the class win, and establish themselves as a leader if they can.
Indeed. And Larry, of course, our drivers are already out for their qualifying session, where we give each 15 minutes and 4 flying laps in order to set their fastest times and set the grid for this evening's race. We can see Tanner Dibble, our fastest driver currently in the GTP class, with Ben Rose, who is fastest in practice, and Dalton Fredericks, your top 3. In LMP2, it is Josh Chinsky, your fastest driver on track currently, with I believe Caleb Lehman and Josh Vidal rounding out your top 3. And then in GT3, it is Bailey Petrowski with Brian Bennett and Alex Brown, your top 3. And so as they're out there, Larry, and we'll just quickly give our racers a rundown before we maybe jump to our pre-race interviewee, as we're watching Alex Brown in the number 67 Eagle Beaver. That's right. Eagle
fan favorite.
My favorite. It's the Eagle Beaver Mustang. The GT3 cars, they have the Ricmotech red number boards, mirrors, and plates on the wings and windshield banners. Our GTP racers, of which I think Jim Pfeiffer may still possibly be on track. No, looks like he's on the pit lane. GTP cars, they will have black number boards, and the LMP2 Dolaras will, much like we see here, Kyle Strikers, have the blue number boards and blue mirrors on the cars as well. All right, so let's do this, Larry, as we get ready for tonight's 75-minute run to the checkered flag. We have sitting in the waiting room here tonight, we've got Baron Glover from The Wrong Stuff. He's driving in LMP2 this year in his Dallara, and currently sitting, I believe, 4th in the championship currently. So let's talk to Baron.
All right, joining us here pre-race is Baron Glover. And so, Baron, welcome to the pre-race interview. How are you feeling all prepped and ready for tonight? Baron?
Or maybe he's not.
Baron, can you hear us? I don't hear Baron Glover.
Oh, well, maybe maybe we'll come back to Baron in a couple of minutes. All right, so, Larry, tell you what, we'll come back to Baron in just a moment. Quickly here, we'll just take a look at the point standings, as I think we're actually on board with Jim Pfeiffer right now. Jim's already put in his 4. Yeah, he's actually the only driver on track right now, just getting in a little extra practice before everybody grids up. He's already got his 4 flying laps in, so that time of 107.979, good for 5th on the grid in GTP in his Porsche 963. Quickly, let's take a look at the point standings in GTP, where we've got sitting at the top of the leaderboard, Dalton Fredericks in his Phantom Power Racing Porsche. He's got 183 points. He is currently sitting 8 points clear to Tanner Dibble, who's running in 2nd for DNA Motorsports. And then we've got The Wrong Stuff's Aaron Johnson in his Cadillac, currently sitting 3rd in the championship with Ryan Reisman for DNA. And we'll talk a little bit more about DNA. Got some good words out of their shop this past week. Ryan Reisman currently sitting 4th in the championship. If we move over to LMP2, where all of our racers are racing the Dallara P217s, we've got Josh Chinsky from SRT Esport. He is currently your points leader, and you see there he's got 25 points on teammate Dave Meneno, also from SRT Esport, with Josh Vidal from Phantom Power Racing, currently sitting 3rd in the championship, and he is 14 points back from Meneno, with Baron Glover from The Wrong Stuff currently sitting 4th. And then we've got the 5,000 or so Rockefeller Racing racers. They're led up by, I think, Aaron Beaver and Avon Dorsey, we'll call them the magnetic duo, Larry. as they seem to find each other on track, or at least their side pods find each other on track seemingly weekly. All right, if we move over to GTP, our leader, pardon me, did I say GTP? I meant GT3. Our leader in the championship right now, and Larry, I believe he's run the table so far. No, actually, he hasn't. He's got 2 wins.
Yeah, he's got the last 2.
Yeah, he's got the last 2. Driving the McLaren 720S that he just moved over to midway through the season. Bailey Petrowski from D2D Sim Racing there with 198 points, but he's got a heck of an advantage, almost 50 points, 49 to be exact, over Aerokinetics Chase West, with Jeff Brooks from The Wrong Stuff currently running 3rd in the championship, 24 points back from West. Travis Schwenke racing for Orion in the Chevy Corvette, only 4 points back from there. And Schwenke actually in a tie, I believe, right now with Brian Bennett for 4th in the championship.
Yeah, a couple close battles, especially in the middle of those groups there. It's just been so chaotic. Mike Dam, who actually was the winner of round 1 at Indy, has not been able to get around lap 1, I think, in the last 2 races. So that's where you don't see him there, and anything could happen. So even though Bailey Petrowski, for example, in GT3 may have what looks like a big lead, all it takes a couple of corners, suddenly his points are gone, and somebody else may step up. So things like that can happen. Could make for a very interesting season as we go forward.
All right, Larry, let's try this. I know you've sent a couple messages behind the scenes to see if he was there. We've got, I think, only about a minute or so before we start to grid up. But let's try to bring Baron Glover in once again from The Wrong Stuff and see if he's got anything for us here pre-race.
Baron Glover, we're going to try again. Are you able to hear us?
Yes, guys. Sorry about that.
No worries. No worries. Glad to be able to take care of that. Just wanted to know if you're all set and feeling good for tonight's Road Atlanta race.
I hope so. This is not one of my better tracks, as you'll soon see, but I'll do my best.
Do you have a strategy to deal with that? Is it sort of a survive lap 1, see what happens sort of thing?
I don't know. It might be a fuel run for me. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. But you come in sort of in the middle of a points mix and a couple others. You got to keep an eye on those around you and at least try to score some points here, even if it isn't your favorite track.
I will. I'm just going to try to stay clean and finish, and that's the first priority. And then if I'm able to move up, so be it. But just trying to stay alive.
Well, the LMP2 is, I like the car myself. I think these race very, very well, and it'll be interesting to watch the race tonight. We'll let you get back to the grid, but if before you do, is anything you wanted to mention? Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Always a shout out to my wife, who's my biggest supporter.
Awesome. Yeah, love it when the family support. That's great. We appreciate it. Hopefully she watches in each and every Monday night. So, Baron, good luck tonight. And with any chance, maybe we'll get a chance to talk to you in about an hour and 15.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there you go. Baron Glover from The Wrong Stuff, driver of the number 13 Dallara LMP3. All right, Larry, we've got a real short pace lap here today. So let's run down a couple of our starters in each one of the classes. We'll start off with with GTP, where Ben Rose is going to be on your front row. He's going to be sharing that row with Dalton Fredericks. Adam Johnson running in the inside of row number 2 with Jim Pfeiffer. Then Jake Zito and Bobby Childs making up row number 3.
I think we had Tanner Dibble actually on pole.
You know what? You are absolutely correct. Oh, well, I just figured we'd throw him to the back of the pack. So it's Dibble and Rose on the front row, Dalton Fredericks and Adam Johnson on row number 2, and then Jim Pfeiffer and Jake Zito. You'd think I could read right off the screen, but no, that is beyond my capabilities, Larry.
Yeah. All right. So first couple of rows in the LMP2 is Josh Chinsky. Is going to be their pole sitter tonight. He's into the 109s, just ahead of Caleb Lehman, who'll be on his outside. Those two SRT Esport teammates. Row 2 is going to be Josh Vidal and Avon Dorsey making up that second row in LMP2. We'll just hit a couple of the GT3s.
Yeah, we've got Bailey Petrowski for D2D is going to be your pole sitter tonight in GT3. Starting alongside him on the outside of row number 1 is going to be Sector 5 Racing's Brian Bennett. Then we've got Jennifer McDonald. Let's try that again. Alex Brown from Eagle Beaver Racing along with Travis Schwenke. And then we've got Jennifer McDonald and Travis Schwenke. They'll make up row number 3.
So it's going to be a very short start, but as we always do here in the World Challenge, it's a split start. It's going to be the GTPs separated from the LMP2s, separated from the GT3s. So we're going to watch the field come down into the start zone, wait for the starter.
And green flag is in the air for the prototypes, Larry. And not getting a good start is Ben Rose, as we have Dalton Fredericks goes by him on the inside. And as they come down into turn 1 for the first time, it's going to be Dibble, Fredericks, Rose, Jim Pfeiffer, Adam Johnson. Our LMP2 racers now get the green flag. Josh Chinsky holds onto the pole with Caleb Lehman following him up the hill and through turn 3. Josh Vidal and Kyle Strikers as the GT3 racers now take the green. Sector 5's Brian Bennett's going to slot in right behind Bailey Petrowski's McLaren, pardon me. And then we've got Travis Schwenke, who gets around Alex Brown on the start to drop Brown the 4th, Jennifer McDonald, Ilya Speaker with Jeff Brooks, Zach Mosley, and Jeff Jacobs as they now all head down the S's for the first time.
The big challenge here to race like this, especially with a short, very, very short pace lap, is cold tires. You can't get any heat in the tires because you're essentially in turn 10 before you have a chance to do anything. So how do they handle the chicane here, and how do they handle turn 1 at full speed? Let's keep an eye on them.
All right, we see our LMP2 racers heading down into the into 10A and 10B complex for the very first time under the Fox Factory bridge and across the line. In GTP, it's Dibble, Fredericks, Rose, and there we just watched Josh Chinsky lead the LMP2 racers across the line with Caleb Lehman, Josh Vidal, Kyle Strikers behind, and our GT3 racers now making it through 10A and 10B, and Bailey Petrowski takes the lead, but we've got a problem, Larry, in GTP.
Fan favorite Bobby
Childs is off in the S's to start lap 2.
Yeah, fan favorite losing it there. That's going to take him out. That's a lot of damage on Bobby. I'm sure we'll get a replay queued up.
Well, that's unfortunate for Bobby, because he did not even make it to Bobby's corner at turn 5, Larry.
Here's the replay. So, yeah, going up into turn 3, gets a lot of curb on the inside, loses the back end.
Yeah, it seemed to get it back under control for a moment there, and then
for a moment, and then maybe in trying to keep it, it just kept snapping to the inside, and he hit that left wall pretty good.
Didn't even make it to Bobby's place.
He did not make it to Charles' corner there at turn 5, which if you didn't join us last week, you missed it, because we had a few cars go out there, and we had Bobby go out there a few times.
I hear Bruce Springsteen, when he wrote the song "Mary's Place," was actually thinking of Bobby Childs as an inspiration. All right, so we've got Dalton Fredericks heading down the hill, and he's got Ben Rose directly behind him. Sounds like, Larry, that well, not just sounds, but I'm looking at the pits. We've got 2 McLarens in the pits now, including Lucas Dragotta. Let's see what happened as they came down through the S's.
Dragotta there, of course, in the blue Dragon Sport Racing, and he loses it kind of at the curve on the entry to 5. Never really gets the car turned in, and you can see it just skip and fly across those curbs. That hurt. I can feel that one all the way over here. See, that, Bobby, is how you take yourself out in turn 5.
Yeah, I mean, there was just that extra little twitch there as he was trying to recover. And just got word of a drive-through penalty, Larry, early on being attributed to the number 44 machine.
That's Avon Dorsey.
Avon Dorsey. I wonder if he got into his teammates.
Gosh, I hope not.
As Charlie Jose is there right nearby in the number 100 car. We might want to figure out what happened there.
I'm sure we'll try and cue something up here, but a lot of Rockefeller Racing team going on here. There's Joe Nagy. There's a big pile up.
There's a big one.
Turn 6.
Lots of Mustangs, the cars and coffee, Larry, but at
Jeff
turn
Brooks
6.
involved in that Mustang.
There was another Mustang that appeared to be involved, and I think it might have been Stacy Bertrand, possibly the 52 machine. Let's take a look.
Let's get the replay. All right, so it looks like already the McLaren there next to Brooks is already, so that's Barrios struggling, and he does get into Brooks. So that's Barrios in the McLaren and Brooks in that Mustang, and then everyone just scatters. Brooks did a good job of trying to stay still, staying out of the way. Not as much contact as I would have expected there. That's a pretty good job by everybody avoiding him. So we got a few in the pits now, including John Casey and Russ Ruddick.
Yeah, I think a couple more people. David Richards as well caught up.
Yeah,
Larry, here is the dynamic
duo.
of Charlie
And-
Hosea and Avon Dorsey as Dorsey
Yeah.
heads to the pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty.
Yeah.
You know, when we may hear at some point what caused that to come about. But interesting here, Larry, is he's trying to get some heat in the tires as he does his drive-through penalty. Not a horrible strategy there for Dorsey.
Well, I can tell you the incident in question was with him and the 07.
Kyle Strikers.
Yes, that's the review that apparently had caused him to earn that drive-through.
All right, let's see if we can pick this up and see what happened, Larry, as they
Right,
come
so there's
down
Strikers, and
into
I think-
6.
Yeah, that's the 44 right behind him. As they come up into
Yeah,
7.
and there you go.
Yeah,
Just
Avon
the lightest
taps
of
into
taps
him.
going into 7.
That'll learn you a drive-through. That'll do it. All right, so we go on board with Alex Brown here in his Mustang, trying to chase down Jennifer McDonald in the BMW. They go into turn 3.
And at this point, I would suspect, Larry, that most of the drivers have gotten their tires up to temperature, that they're probably finding navigating this course much easier now as our GTP racers are on lap number 5 and our LMP2 and GT3 racers are on lap number 4. Should be
well, your race
quite a bit
leader,
easier
Tanner
for them.
Dibble, is coming up behind this group right now very quickly, and there he is up inside of Jeff Jacobs, trying to go along to the next one, which should be Zach Mosley. Ilya Speaker will then follow, and you can see a GTP speed relative to a GT3 is just night and day. Jennifer McDonald's going to just try and be stationary. Well done by everybody.
Yeah, during what practice, I think we had some of the LMP2 racers down in the low 107s. Larry, so almost a second faster than Dibble and Rose are lapping at the moment.
Well, there was another incident that was just reviewed as well. Looked like it was John Casey and Russ Ruddock, and a penalty given to John Casey.
Let's see if we can pick that up, as both of those racers are in the pit lane.
All right, so there's Ruddock in the 95, the green Corvette. On the outside of the blue Corvette, which is Casey. Casey kind of clips him, pushes him to the outside, and that's a big contact there.
Oof.
Wow.
Oof.
That is a lot of fiberglass all over down there on the front straightaway. So, yeah, that earned him a penalty that likely will be
a gold chain.
administered,
Nice.
administered after the races. He's in the pits already. I think they're still reviewing. They're still reviewing one more, I believe, between, let's see, the 85 and the 177. Which would be Mariano
Barrios.
That's that.
That would be the one that
Jeff
we saw
Brooks.
over at turn 6 earlier.
They're still looking at that one.
It's Mexico's Yar Alvarado working his way through. Alvarado currently running 6th in LMP2, or probably not LMP2, in GTP, as he started 8th. Being chased down by Jake Zito.
Yeah, this is a tough place to catch a bunch of GT3 traffic. You really got to pick your moments here. Jair's got he's got around the Corvette there from Orion on the way up the hill, but now he's got to stick behind the Porsche there in front of him of Brian Bennett before he can get by in turn 5, and all that does is bring Jake Zito right up to his 6. So there go those GTPs down the chute, down to 6. It's like the Joker and the Riddler with the paint schemes in these guys.
I was just gonna say, it's like right out of Gotham City.
And Bobby Childs is like the Batmobile, so it kind of works out. So we ride on board here with Zito.
The difference is these two are roaming the streets of Gotham, and Bobby's got his car back in the in the Batcave now. All right, Larry, let's jump over to GT3. This is the battle for second right now, as Travis Schwenke and Brian Bennett have really separated themselves out from Jennifer McDonald. They've got about 2.5 seconds on the BMW of McDonald. Petrowski already, though, if we take a look there at the ticker, over 2.5 seconds now, back to Bennett and Schwenke. And he's already checked out there. There he is.
Yeah,
going up
Bailey
in
off to a strong start here in this so far. Gives him that flexibility then with LMP2s or GTPs come up behind him. He's got the flexibility to sort of pick his spots to let them through, knowing that he's not necessarily in that fight. Let Bennett and Schwenke fight behind him. Josh Vidal trying to get around this battle of GT3s of the Alex Brown Eagle Beaver, still chasing down Jennifer McDonald.
And Ilya Speaker and his the number 86 McLaren starting to make up a little bit of ground there. Not very far back. And what is the battle right now for fourth?
Yeah, Speaker, of course, one of the Rockefeller Racing entries. Of course, Rocky himself not in the lineup tonight. It sounded like he's a little under the weather. He tried to give it a go and decided it's best to be a spectator tonight. So Rocky in the chat, watching along tonight, cheering on his Rockefeller Racing team. Team orders. Rocky barking out who gets preference here. Looks like.
The question is he delivering them? Is he on the radio with them, or is he just delivering them via YouTube chat? Because I think that would be the most passive aggressive thing a team owner could do.
All right, so we go on board with Ryan Reisman now. Has caught the battle of Zito and Alvarado. Zito, just as we were flashing to this, Zito got around Alvarado right there in turn 10. Reisman now right behind him. So these three entries now fighting for sixth spot between Jake Zito, Jair Alvarado, and Ryan Reisman, where we got a good shot of Ryan there on his sim rig, full DNA Motorsports livery. We did have some news earlier this week about DNA's performance, didn't we?
Yeah, matter of fact, Ryan here, who we're watching, and his teammates Tanner Dibble and Ben Rose finished second, or probably not finished second, finished with the win, taking the win in the second split at this year's Petite Le Mans hosted by iRacing. So congratulations to them.
Right here at Road Atlanta.
Great outing, yeah. Right here at Road Atlanta last weekend.
It's a great way to prep, is to drive a GTP car at Road Atlanta for a whole bunch of hours and then jump on the nights and do it for another 75 minutes. So these guys probably fully prepped, setups are all good, and it kind of shows with Dibble and Rose leading the way, and Reisman kind of looks like he's on a bit of a recovery. So a quick update on the incident involving Jeff Brooks, since we've got the camera on him there. He was assigned a 10-second post-race penalty for the incident between himself and
friendly neighborhood Mariano Barrios. Since we're talking about all of Batman's nemesis is.
Got to throw a Marvel character in there somewhere.
Right, exactly. It's the whole DC and Marvel thing.
Make a Homelander reference from the boys, then I'll really start to wonder. If you know that reference, then you have got a lot of time in your hands to watch Amazon Prime shows. All right, let's flash back up to this battle. As you know, Larry,
I've got nothing but time.
All right, so this is the battle here in the LP2s. That, of course, is Josh Vidal in third, chasing Caleb Lehman for second. So good little fight going on here. Josh Chinsky has separated himself from these two by about 6 seconds. This is a good little fight right now.
Yeah, and this is almost like a can of Sprite. We got lemon and lime here coming in the 10A.
It's a can of Sprite, a can of Hard Mountain Dew or something. We'll cover Coke and Pepsi. We got everybody here. We're not preferential here.
Yeah, nothing.
There's no contracts here.
No. One big taste test.
It's a good little fight, though, for second here in LMP2. These guys coming into tonight in the point standings, but all came into tonight in third, whereas Lehman was back in seventh. So Lehman, of course, had missed round 2. He's got a couple of podium finishes bookending there with round 1 and round 3. So he definitely needs to make the rest of the races. He's got a shot here. But right now, it's been Chinsky. He's been the class of the field all season, taking 3 wins in 3 rounds. So everyone's chasing him. The other one in the mix, though, I don't know if he's on tonight's race. That's Minetto.
Yeah, I was going to say Dave Minetto, who's currently was actually, I guess, running just ahead of Glover in the championship.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, Glover's 4th, Vidal's 3rd. They're 2 points apart. But yeah, Minetto came into tonight about 14 points ahead of them in second spot, but taking tonight off after having 2 second-place finishes in a row at Mosport and Spa. So we'll see if he's back in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Chinsky is just picking up right where he left off. Batmobile Rev 2. As the Billy Petrowski D2D entry. It's sort of like the Batman Begins Batmobile, maybe? I don't know which one this is. Could be a little Adam West in that one, too. We have a theme tonight, don't we?
All right, so with this battle that we were watching a little bit earlier, Bennett and Schwenke, this is the battle for the second step on the podium. I think it's a little bit early to be discussing that, but as we're only a little over 15 minutes into the 75-minute race, but Petrowski now opening up his lead to over 4.5 seconds.
I'm fascinated tonight by the parity that we have. You look at the GT3 standings, and you can see it there. We've got 6 different makes in the top 8. That's quite the shocker there. Look at this. I think that's Dalton Fredericks trying to make his way through this little mix. But yeah, you got the battle going on here between the Corvette and the Porsche. You got a McLaren out in front. You got Jennifer McDonald running in 4th. She's on a BMW.
And she's been fighting Alex Brown. And that's I think that battle is still ongoing. A little bit of a gap there now is I think Brown has had to deal with some of this GTP and LMP2 traffic that's been working through.
Yeah, it's great parity here and lots of good battles with these guys. So it looks like the Corvette wants to attack turn 10 a little more than the Porsche does.
Back over to 10A and 10B, Larry, to another one of our Corvette McLaren battles. This is Chase West and Lyndon Swaby. And this is the battle for, I think, 16th position currently in GT3.
We were looking at Alex Brown earlier, who was trying to keep up with Jennifer McDonald. That gap has grown, but Ilya Speaker in that McLaren has caught right up to the back of Alex Brown. Here you can see the Rockefeller Racing right behind the Eagle Beaver. Alex under the pressure here. Speaker has been slowly gaining the last number of laps.
Yeah, and Larry, on the last lap, I believe we also saw where Zach Mosley in that red and black Mustang looked just a little bit further back, making up ground. Both he and Speaker have been making up ground for the last 2 laps on Alex Brown.
They just enjoying the sounds of big Ford motor noises.
Yeah, flat crank, flat plane crank Mustang noises. Very nice.
Yeah. That's a good looking paint scheme on there as well. He definitely is gaining on that group in front of him. He took about 4 or 5 tenths out the last time, so he's going to be getting there. There you can see. There's that 5 tenths he picked up. It's going to be a 3-way battle, and if they can play nice for a little bit, maybe.
I would say it might be a 4-way battle soon enough. Although Alex Brown's got the windshield wipers going for some reason, but all three, Brown, Speaker, and Mosley made up a little bit of ground on Jennifer McDonald that time by also not much, maybe a tenth.
Yeah,
but
she's had good pace. She's really has gone steady at this point, and everybody's now has to work to chase her. They've got to put in some perfect laps.
Yeah.
She's finally gotten to her rhythm here as we got past that first 10 laps or so. A little bit of a wrinkle there on the front of the McLaren of Speaker. That might be from earlier contacts, but Mosley again chipping away. He's the fastest of the 4 that are in the shot here. He'll be there in no time.
Well, yes, he's still got a little ways to go, but he's getting there.
Is that Chinsky there coming up behind him in the LMP2?
Yeah,
trying to make his way through?
I was just going to say, I think that's your LMP2 leader, Josh Chinsky. Yeah, from SRT Esport. Woo.
Yeah?
Just grabbed a bunch of grass there right at the apex of turn 11 underneath the bridge.
He's trying to get through them. He's picking them one by one, but now he's caught up to the back of Jennifer. He's going to try and get by without holding up her pace. Looks like he's able to do that pretty well.
That done pretty easily.
But take a look at that. It does look like Alex Brown may have taken a little bit of lead out of Jennifer last time around. So it's closing up.
Not that anybody has it easy tonight, Larry, but there's our leader, Tanner Dibble. He has about, I guess, around 2 seconds thereabouts on Ben Rose, with Dalton Fredericks a little bit further back from there. But given the pace of the GTP cars is running somewhere on the lines of 10 seconds per lap faster than the GT3s here. Yeah, they come up on you pretty darn quickly, especially if you're coming up the hill out of turn 1. You've got that blind little left-hander, and then the quick right back at between 2 and 3.
Battles going on here as we're back to Zito and Alvarado. Remember, Jake Zito had made his way around Jair a couple laps ago, just as Ryan Reisman was catching him. Well, Ryan now has faded back as these two have settled down a little bit. They're setting their sights on Jim Pfeiffer. They're picking up about 3/10 a lap on their way to him. So it may happen at some point. He's just about 2 seconds up the road from them. Maybe less now. As I believe Jim may have been held up a little bit going through turn 3. It may have just put Zito right on. That's Avon Dorsey that they're catching up there. Yeah, Dorsey was the one
they got caught up a little bit behind the Porsche. I thought that was, that was Klimovich, if I'm not mistaken, that they were behind.
Well, Dorsey, of course, earlier had his drive-through penalty serve, so he's down the order from where he would expect to be. Although still doing pretty well considering.
As Jeff Jacobs tries his best to just stay out of the way of all of these GTP and LMP2 cars that fanned out going into 10A all at the same time.
Yeah, well, Alvarado had to sort of zip across going around Jacobs, and then he get up inside of Dorsey as well. So does it cleanly, no problem. Lost a little bit of ground to Zito in front of him, but the way this track is, the way this traffic is, I think he'll be right back with him in no time.
Oh, look at this, Larry. Jennifer McDonald's advantage over both the Eagle Beaver machine of Brown, Ilya Spiker's Rockefeller Racing machine, and then Zach Mosley in the Mosley Motorsports machine. They have all now closed up to the back of the BMW.
Quite quickly there, as maybe some traffic things may have led to that. But look at this. Brown's going to try and make a move now, going into 10.
Is he far enough alongside? He's going to try to come deep under the brakes. Just not quite close enough, Larry. And it looked like he was maybe, even when he pulled to the inside, maybe a little optimistic, hoping that Jennifer would flinch. And she just didn't. She held her ground and broke.
Yeah, great driving by both of them. For Jennifer to hold her line and for Alex to be ready for that and to give her the line if she is able to. So good racing there, but I'm kind of keeping an eye on Speaker now. He's giving them a little bit of room to play, but at some point he's going to probably stick his nose in there as well. And we know Mosley in that Mustang isn't far behind. He's got some traffic, some prototypes mixing in now, so this could make things interesting. It's Charlie Osea, of course, Speaker's teammate. Kyle Strikers will be the next of those LMP2s to try and get through. So much chaos down at 7. See if Jennifer can hold off that Mustang again, although it looks like a decent run here coming for Alex Brown. Maybe not enough this time.
No. I think they also both checked up as we had the LMP2 car come driver's right around Jennifer McDonald, and I think both she and also Brown thought better of doing anything offensive there. I think that might have been Lehman, possibly, that had come underneath her and around.
She's under all that pressure. Responding well. Even with the LMP and GTPs trying to make their way through, Jennifer doing a good job of picking the spots to let them by.
Yeah, and there's that battle between Alvarado and Zito, working their way around these two, and it's gone and split off a Speaker and Mosley a little bit. It's given Brown less that he has to concern himself with. He can just look forward towards McDonald.
Yeah, maybe we can take a look at the GTP battle of the DNA teammates, Tanner Dibble and Ben Rose. I think they've also gotten close together on the track. There's the 963 of Dibble and the 5 of Ben Rose and the Acura right behind him. Traffic has definitely brought these two together. As we just talked about, they were teammates during the Petit Le Mans sim race just last weekend, and here they are as teammates / enemies. But look at Rose, chipped away, and there he is. In the point standing coming into tonight, Tanner Dibble, who won round 2, is in second in the points. Ben Rose, who did not race in the first round, got a second at Canadian Tire, but a win at Spa. And then Dalton Fredericks, who's sitting in third tonight, 4 seconds behind this. He got the win in the opening round. He's actually got the points lead.
Right.
So this is an interesting class with 3 different winners in 3 rounds. At this point, one of these guys trying to make it 2 out of 4.
Oh boy, it's getting awfully congested, Larry, right ahead of our leaders. As
a little
they
bit
come
of
down
everything.
to the S's.
Yeah, that's an LMP2 now with our pair of GTPs coming roaring through.
Yeah, I think
I'm sure lights are flashing.
Jeff Brooks's Mustang, I think, involved there.
Yep. Now we'll watch the GTPs try to make their way past. That's Caleb Lehman in the 819 in that green LMP2, just finally having to yield to the more horsepower of the GTPs.
Ooh.
That was close.
Ben Rose almost came right across the nose of Lehman.
Would not have been very comfortable, but the speed delta between them isn't tremendous. Look at their lap times. Dibble and Rose last time by 108.5.
Yeah,
Lehman 112.2, so 4 seconds a lap. It's not a tremendous amount, so they're able to carry a lot of the same speeds, but that all that horsepower in those GTPs is pretty impressive. Jeff Jacobs trying to get out of the way. He's trying. Right, these two will get 2 corners by themselves, and then there's probably going to be more traffic on the back straight. Yep. Not the biggest track for running multi-car endurance racing, but so is the way with Petit Le Mans. That's our pre-race guest, Baron Glover, fighting it out with Avon Dorsey. Baron with the wrong stuff. Running that familiar number 13 up against Avon Dorsey in the familiar Rockefeller Racing black and silver.
All right, let's go back to the McDonald and Brown battle.
And again, it kind of looks like Jennifer able to pick up the pace again. She's back running into those high 119s where she was earlier. So maybe that one lap was just a bit of an issue to let them all close in, but she's certainly not leaving any doors open at this point. BMW looks pretty good on the brakes going into 10. I don't know if we could say the same about the Mustang. But the Mustang's got the power to pull up very close and maybe even next to her, but I'm not sure Alex can brake as late as Jennifer does in the BMW.
And that's what I was thinking, Larry, is even if you carry a couple extra miles an hour into the braking zone there at 10A, if you can't get the car woed down, you end up having to get out of the throttle earlier anyhow. Well, but he gets right back to the back bumper, tucks underneath the wing.
Yeah. Well, we did have another incident that got reviewed, and the stewards have ruled on it. That was the 177 of Mariano Barrios and the 52 of Stacy Bertrand. They have assigned 10 seconds post-race to Mariano. The other battle that might be at some point fun to check in on will be Charlie Hosea.
And Kyle Strikers.
Yes. Strikers is up on the back of Hosea. Now, Hosea has served a penalty from an earlier contact. Put him in this position.
Well, and there, look at this, Larry. It's now done as the Eagle Beaver has flown the coop. It's gotten around Jennifer McDonald just as we were talking about possible challenges with the Mustang under braking going into 10A.
And it goes 3 wide, as you can see. Tanner Dibble had to go on by, but the motor, the horsepower of that Mustang able to get in front for Alex Brown over Jennifer McDonald. Good job there to use the exit at 7 to basically make that pass, so he didn't necessarily have to outbrake. He had a car almost ahead before they even got to him. So well done there. We'll see. We'll check back in that one in a minute as we're back to the Hosea and Strikers battle here for 4th in LMP2. These guys nose to tail. Strikers has been quick. Hosea has turned the last few laps a little bit quicker, so it has him in this position. Hosea was separated from his usual battery mate of Avon Dorsey.
Now, when we're talking battery, we're not talking like double A's and
I said
B's
battery,
and
not battering.
C's. Okay. Like a salt and battery? Is that
Something like that, yes. Oh, a little wide there, though. Goes Hosea. Striker's going to take an opportunity. As they say, strike while the iron's hot. I had to. Striker's is going to get alongside. Hosea, let's see. Hosea not giving him anything, but he has no choice here. He's going to have to yield as they come down to 10.
He's going to yield and get back over on the line, yeah.
Good opportunity there for Kyle to jump when he sees Charlie running a bit wide. That's all it takes. That turn 7 is so tough. One of the Rockefeller Corvettes there in front of them. That's Keith Stein in the number 248. Holman splitting them. That got a little intense. The Rockefeller team. Rocky, what are you letting your folks do? I thought you had team orders for this. Charlie ignoring the team orders. He's going to go ahead and step on. Or maybe they were on comms and said, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Thank you very much. And Keith said, sorry, and let him
Photo
by.
op. Yes, sorry.
Every once in a while, you got to throw in a Canadian sorry.
Did you hear about Pacioretty playing for the Maple Leafs? Sorry.
All right, back to Ilya Speaker, who's actually going to take this chance to pit. And Zach Mosley right there and says, you know what, this is a good time as any to head on in here at the 36-minute mark at the top of the hour, as they say.
Yeah, and Larry, we thought that the pit window for the GT3 cars might extend as far as 31 laps. And so with Speaker pitting in at the end of lap 26, start of lap number 27, certainly will have enough fuel to get to the end, but he's one of our first GT3 drivers in.
Yeah, we got a couple others out there. This is Chase West being chased by Jeff Brooks, who's had himself an adventurous night, to say the least. It's the battle for 11th in GT3. It's Blue Oval against Bowtie. Blue Oval's got to back out of it here. He's pressuring him all he can handle.
Oh, very much so.
That is in the risk of net code sort of area. They're so close together.
Blue Oval giving the blue bump, getting close to giving the blue bumper.
He was giving him the blue/chrome horn there for a bit. It kind of moves Brooks has here. See if he can get a good run off of 7. And due to Chase West, we just saw Alex Brown due to Jennifer McDonald and try and make that pass. By the way, I think Zach Mosley may have also just pitted. Lots of pits going on right now. Oh, Mariano Barrios also down pit lane. Getting to be that point. So, does one of these two come in? Nope. West going defensive and trying to let the faster Ben Rose through.
Yeah, I would say as Ben Rose comes right underneath.
But,
here we go, going in the 1. Late on the brakes, drag the brake pedal, and just
West,
keeping that car on the track. West
good job by West
to gather it back up.
Yeah, West saving it there. Just about to go off at 1. Good job for both of them there. We'll see if Jeff Brooks now can make up a little bit of ground.
And that, that is Bailey Petrowski sitting right underneath the Fox Factory Bridge.
I don't think that's where he wants to be. That is not where he wants to be at all, as he's going to take it down pit lane. Let's see if the replay
shows.
what
happened. Was he just trying to make his way over to the pit lane and just had traffic underneath him?
That's what it was.
Nope, that's what happened. And that was the one. Was that the 118 or probably the one?
I'm not sure. Is that Caleb Lehman?
Lehman, I think in the 819. Pardon me, not 119.
Yeah. So Bailey, I don't know what, we've seen this before. Remember, he's had issues with a sim rig once in a while where he's had to do quick restarts. Possibly when the contact there perhaps maybe gave something through his wheel. just a complete theory of mine. The fact that he was able to restart and get down the hill into the pits, we'll see how long he's in. Meanwhile, the entire field of LMP2s is in. Josh Vidal looks like he's the first one out.
Yeah, and I think the only one who isn't, Larry, is Alvarado, who had already come down the pit lane. I'm sorry, Alvarado is one of our GTP cars. I'm sorry.
And Josh Chinsky, who is the leader, has not yet pitted.
Right.
But I see Bailey still in the pits. This is going to be interesting. Well, we talked about this earlier, how Mike Dam took a win and then had a couple of rough outings. Mike not even here tonight. Bailey, though, has got a couple of wins of the season. Maybe he was due for a rough outing. We'll see if he's able to continue.
And so this puts new importance on that battle that we were watching earlier between Brian Bennett and Travis Schwenke. But you'll notice now, Bennett, he's not being shadowed by that Orion Corvette. He's all by himself. Neither one of those two drivers have yet pitted in, but almost 5 seconds now separating Bennett from Schwenke.
Travis has faded quite a bit, about a second or so a lap the last time around slower. And there's Jennifer McDonald now into the pits in her 99 BMW. Lots of action going on here.
All right, and now Chinsky pits in from the lead in LMP2 for SRT Esport. Yeah, it looked like Jennifer McDonald might have missed her pit box, had to back the car up. We'll see if that becomes a liability as this race winds on.
Yeah, that close fight she was in with all 4 of those cars. That could make things difficult in a battle with Alex Brown, Ilya Speaker,
Zach Mosley.
Yeah, and Zach Mosley. Meanwhile, Dalton Fredericks has taken the lead of the race with the pits all happening. Be an important bonus point for him in this battle throughout the season. Jake Zito pitting in from 4th. There's Brian Bennett.
And Schwenke's going to follow him in.
So this is the battle for the lead. Remember, with the issues happening to Bailey Petrowski, that leaves Bennett in the lead, Travis Schwenke in second. By the way, flying the flag solo tonight for the Orion team. The only one making the green flag tonight, Travis Schwenke, with no Mike Dam and Leo Jagoda not actually taking the green.
And Larry, I think Bailey Petrowski has decided to call it a night.
Wow.
But I am showing him as being out of the car. Somebody tell him to turn the headlights off before the battery goes dead.
The car's sitting there, but it isn't going anywhere. That's unfortunate for the race leader and a 2-time winner this season. All right, well, there you go. So Bennett and Schwenke are going to resume almost as they came in. Probably going to be 2-3 seconds between them. And you know that with the way traffic flows around this place, that's easily...
Although Schwenke, I think Larry may have knocked off about 2 seconds out of the 4-second advantage that Bennett had built up.
All right, well, there's Frederick pitting in from the lead. Johnson, Pfeiffer. This should put the battle of Rose and Dibble.
And Dibble back up, and there they go. Rose
but remember, it was Dibble leading Rose. It is no longer the case. It is Rose leading Dibble now.
Yeah, Larry, as Dibble was in his pit stall for almost close to 5 seconds longer than Ben Rose. And so, the question is, is it possible that perhaps Rose didn't take on enough fuel to get to the end, or did Dibble maybe overfill?
There could be a couple things. It could be a fuel issue. I don't know how the tires swap on these GTPs. Perhaps one taking tires, if Tanner Dibble did, versus Ben Rose not. We'll have to see if that's the case. Either way, we've seen their pace very close, and Dibble already 0.6 back. As there is Travis Schwenke, now just 2 seconds back from Bennett. So we're seeing that pit delta also now between Schwenke and Bennett, leading to the closure there. He's Bennett in the 161 Section 5 Racing. Right now it's got the Charlie Jose and that 100 Rockefeller Racing burning right on through down the S's.
Yeah, so Schwenke took a pretty good cut out of the lead that Bennett had built up. And look at this, Larry, as Ben Rose and Tanner Dibble now lock nose to tail as they come out of turn 5.
Right next to Alex Brown there as they go on through. Where does the move happen, and where does it happen? By the way, at some point we're going to have to check in with the Klimovich because there's a clamoring going on in the chat.
Klimovich clamoring?
I'm just saying, there's a clamoring happening. There he is, the number 221, David Klimovich.
And Larry, we just got word that Caleb Lehman had been assigned responsibility for the contact with Bailey Petrowski.
Yeah, it's not much of a consolation for Bailey, I'm sure, at this point. That's unfortunate. But yeah, drive through there given to Caleb. There's a good shot of Caleb now with Josh Chinsky about to put him a lap down.
And he comes down the pit lane to serve.
Dibble still working. Oh boy,
he's
that
still
right in front of
working.
him.
And in GT3, you can see the challenges that Travis Schwenke has. Is the gap now to Brian Bennett has expanded by almost a full second over the last time we checked in. You know, but Schwenke had like 3 or 4 prototype cars sneak between him and Bennett as they were coming down through the S's.
Well, there was Bennett right there, just about became a hood ornament for Tanner Dibble, and Dibble able to avoid him. And put a little bit of daylight now. Ben Rose about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds ahead of Dibble now. That got pretty close. But again, this is going to happen.
How much do you think Porsche charges for an extra hood ornament?
Let me check my receipts from the last time I had mine replaced. I don't really keep track of the small charges.
963 and a half.
My Porsches I usually prefer to be charged 962. That is Ryan Reisman slowing.
Oh, and you see the shrug on his shoulders.
Happy.
Oh.
This is his second time in the pits.
Yeah, and you can see there's something wrong. Let's see if we can pick out what might have happened. Larry is he was gesticulating quite. Well, that's what could have happened.
And he's trying to not wreck everybody. And that is definitely the wall.
Ugh.
He's packing it in. Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan. And of course, Ryan there, and that's unfortunate. You know, we talked, I think, at the end of last season in the World Challenge, where, of course, Ryan's family, and in particular his wife Amanda, dealing with some very major health issues, and Ryan was running a pink nose on the front of his car for cancer awareness, and unfortunately, that's what we just saw flying across the grass there as Ryan retired his car.
The pink nose now a souvenir there coming up towards turn 2 at Port Atlanta.
Oh,
there's contact. And that's Brooks getting more contact, and I didn't see if that was...
That was Chase West in the Aerokinetics Corvette.
Wow. And then behind them, it's getting a little crazy. Kyle Stryker's now trying to find his way through all of this in the LMP2 entry. And a replay on this from above. So again, like we saw earlier, it's going into 1. This looks almost like a replay of the previous replay. It's not. They get through that, but now they go into the little left-hander 2 into 3. Brooks is ahead. Oh, oof. Brooks definitely was ahead.
Yeah, but Larry, he
was
Brooks
slow.
went into 3 so shallow.
He did.
That you know, we saw there that there was really nowhere for the Corvette to go on exit.
No, we'll see what the stewards have to say. I'm sure they're going to look at that. That's some pretty significant contact, but the car did, even though he was taking a shallow entry, he was ahead. So we'll see what they think.
Yeah, certainly.
As now he's under some pressure here from is that Milan Harris?
Milan Harris, McLaren? In the McLaren.
As going through there is Tanner Dibble.
Dibble, you notice that Dibble is in every one of our GT3 shots now.
The car's so fast, it's at every corner
everywhere.
all the time. All right, so West now staying ahead of Harris, but not by much.
All right, Larry, you know what? I've completely lost track of time. It is more than 10 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Thanks to our partners and sponsors, and when we come back, we'll cover the last 25 minutes or so of racing here from Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta, where you're watching round number 4 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. We'll be right back.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org. The search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level championships, custom incident tracking, post-race time penalties, support for heats, drop weeks display, multi-car team scoring, advanced web widgets, rookie championships, a custom paint system, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
And welcome back to Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, where you're watching round number 4 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge, presented by Buttkicker and the SCCA Foundation. I'm Greg Ginsburg. He's Larry Lettuce McLeod. And Larry, we are now, let's see, a little over 50 minutes into this 75-minute race. And look at this, Larry. Schwenke has gotten right back up to the back of Brian Bennett in his battle for the lead in GT3.
That graphic is spot on. Thank you, John. Look at that. He's been catching him every lap consistently, a couple of tenths, is leading to this as we're now inside of about 23 minutes or so to go. And it is escalated to full-on war here at the front of GT3. Schwenke would love to get something out of this. Carrying the flag for Orion tonight. He's got to do it all by his lonesome, as they say.
And going down to the inside to defend in the one is Bennett.
Yeah.
Schwenke's going to try it over under, try to come up and stick it to the inside. Cannot do it.
All right, so let's see if he can make any kind of move, or perhaps he'll back off and wait a little closer to the end. Just gotta watch the traffic though. You almost want to try, if you think you're faster, get ahead and see if you can get like one of them LMP2s to help you through a couple corners to create a gap. Right now, not under a threat from current third place runner Alex Brown or Ilya Speaker in fourth. That's still a good little four-way battle, though. Brown, Speaker, McDonald, and Mosley covering just like about 5 seconds. It's still pretty close between all of them, but this is the battle on the track.
Yeah, and Larry, speaking about that battle for third, notice that Jennifer McDonald now sitting in third of that group of 4. back now in 5th position. So that little faux pas on her pit stop definitely affecting her.
Yeah, you called that in these kind of battles, you cannot afford that extra 2 seconds it takes to back up. And that's basically the delta right now, is the amount of time it takes to react that you had a problem and to quickly get back into position and see if she's got the pace. She's been consistent. See if she can recover, but it's going to be tough. She lets the 07 of Kyle Strikers, currently running 3rd in LMP2. He takes on through there before getting to turn 3. So we take a look at this, and that is your leaders, all of them.
Oh, no.
Bennett swinging and swinging. Oh! That's the 26 of, that's Josh Vidal.
Vidal that goes around.
And Tanner Dibble was in the mix of all that. So Vidal recovers.
Oh, my.
That was all the chaos. He had 2nd place LMP2, 2nd place in GTP, side by side. Brian Bennett, your leader in GT3. He doesn't even realize he's that close, I don't think, to Dibble. And then the rebound leads to a ricochet. And Vidal gets all the way to the wall backwards. Wow. Now I wonder who's got damage.
And Vidal, of course, was running 2nd. And actually, I think he's still showing his 2nd in LMP2, that he had enough of an advantage over Strikers.
Not much, though. It's just 4 seconds, and it's coming down. I'm starting to wonder if maybe he's got a little damage. Certainly, he's going to be... It's in his head, even if it's not physically on the car. Yeah, look at that. He's lost a little bit. Now he's in some traffic as well for Josh. You start to pick up the heart rate a little bit, start to get intense, and worrying that maybe something's going on. Strikers maybe thinking it's his turn to jump up there. He's able to clear Charlie Jose a couple laps back, so Strikers now doing what he can.
And now the question is, did Bennett take on any damage? It we're almost a full lap past the incident now.
And it looks okay.
Doesn't look like it.
The front looks
certainly
okay.
Not affecting his speed.
The right rear, which is what he contacted actually with Dibble, looks okay.
Yeah. And Schwenke, who checked up and managed to avoid all the contact and everything that was going on around him, wasn't able to take advantage of all of the missteps that Bennett had there. And now it looks like, as you mentioned, it doesn't look like there's any real damage at the rear. Wow.
And Strikers just took an odd line right there in front of Bennett. And Bennett's got to be thinking, how do I get rid of these prototypes? This is getting crazy. But I think you're right about Schwenke. I think he saw what was about to happen. He backed off in case it was a massive pileup that he could then skate by. He's now thinking, okay, that's over. Let's try to rephrase our attack here.
Right. And now he has to, because, again, it doesn't look like any of that affected the Porsche at all. But here's going to be the advantage that Schwenke's going to have, as both of them are getting caught behind some of our slower traffic heading down the hill. And that is that John Casey in the Corvette just ahead of him?
I'm trying to see. That might be. It is, yes. That's the 278 of John Casey.
So that was
wow.
Well, and it looks like Petrowski might be back in the car, but I thought that was Casey directly ahead. We had the 2 Corvettes there, and it looked like they both just stood on the binders.
Yeah, all the Corvettes.
I thought maybe Brockway was the other one.
It looks like it is, yeah. So all those Corvettes all stacked up there. And look at this. Speaking of Corvettes, it's Schwenke trying to make the move on the outside. Can he stick it out there and force Bennett to go inside, or is he going to set up the up and under? This is the kind of move that can work, and now he's going to get thrown a little bit because he's got a Charlie Hosea in that 100 LMP2 trying to snake here between them. Ooh.
And Bennett must be going, what would it take to get a prototype car to give me more than 1.5 inches through any of these corners?
Well, he's about to have it happen again as Adam Johnson. We haven't talked his name tonight. He gets into the side of Bennett. Yeah. Bennett's like, what do I have to do? As Johnson gets by, luckily it looks like they're able to continue, but that one may have left a mark on the right front of Bennett.
Yeah, at some point, Larry, one of these contacts is going to end up hurting that car.
Yeah. All right, now Strikers has caught Vidal, and I think there may be an opportunity coming here for Strikers. He's got the inside line.
And just went around Wedderburn just tried to pick which one to
look at this though, coming up the hill. Striker's on the outside, Vidal on the inside. Striker's is able to get the power down, and he's been the faster car the last number of laps since the incident that involved Vidal. So perhaps there's a little bit of damage on the back of there, Josh, after the contact with the wall and with Brian Bennett. Back end might have a little something. Doesn't look like much, though, for Josh.
Oh.
I'm not really seeing much on the back of that car. It looks damaged, but maybe this is what he needs, is to get on this end of a fight and be able to follow Kyle Strikers around for a little bit. Meanwhile, they're catching up to one of the Rocket Mill Racing Mustangs. Here they go, side by side, 3 wide, and no!
You just saw it coming, Larry.
Strikers now off to the side.
Strikers is off the Aerokinetics Corvette.
That's Chase West again?
That's Chase West,
he's got
West
some
had
damage.
nowhere to go.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. So there's West in the Corvette up in the front of this. There's a Rockefeller Mustang trying to stay out of the way. West has nowhere to go. He's trying to stay out, and he gets into the front of into the side of Strikers. Yikes. Nah, that was a rough ending to what was an otherwise good battle. I don't know that Strikers came out of that one without any kind of injury.
Yeah, it looked like a little damage to the front splitter there on the left front.
Well, now that we're inside the last 15, though, this battle for the lead may start heating up. It looks like Schwenke's starting to put a little pressure. The 16 on the 161.
And Strikers brings his car down the pit lane, Larry, Bob.
Everybody drink.
Drink.
All right, so
if it means anything, I didn't call Brian Donati Larry once this weekend.
You almost could have gotten away with it because the driver's name we're focusing on is Brian.
Yes,
but
Brian Bennett. Maybe I was talking about him.
So Schwenke trying to do what he can now. Bennett looks like he's getting really good digs. He got a good dig out of the chicane at 10. He's able to get a good start coming out of 3 down the S's, but I think this is where the Corvette has the advantage. It's floating
this is where
into.
He's been very strong coming into 7.
Yeah, he gets a good grip here through 6 and 7. Good on the brakes. He's got to get the exit. The Porsche plants really well.
Yeah, you can tell where it just hunkers down, puts the weight over the rear axle, and goes.
And not enough legs for the Corvette to do much else. Not gonna happen this lap.
Christine with making the my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
I thought you'd be saying, "This is my partner Larry, and then my other partner Brian, and my other partner Brian."
My other partner Brian, yeah. What was that? Wings, Larry,
that was a Newhart.
Newhart, was it Newhart? Okay.
That was a Newhart show, yeah.
Okay.
The second iteration of the Newhart show. All right, so Brian Bennett here, of course, still leading in the class over Schwenke, and in between them is another one of our GTPs.
That's the Joker, right?
I believe that is. Is that Alvarado?
Alvarado, I think. Or is that Zito?
That's
Alvarado. Zito's up ahead. Larry, that's going to be a huge change now in GTP as Tanner Dibble has just been assigned incident responsibility for, I'm trying to go back to what
it's going to be the contact with Bennett.
With Bennett, exactly. Yeah. And he has been given a drive-through penalty.
Wow. That is huge. He led half of this race up until the pits, just after the pits, gets shuffled back a little bit, and now all of a sudden finds himself with a drive-through. That's going to be massive for him. And in this points championship where he comes in with 1 win and his teammate Ben Rose came in with a win, now all of a sudden Rose is in a good position to perhaps
Rose is in a good position, and Dalton Fredericks, who is only about 10 seconds behind as they came down the back straight. There's Dalton Fredericks. He's now going to assume second place.
Yeah, almost certainly move him into second place here with just about 10 minutes to go. Huge opportunity for Fredericks, who again came in with a 6-point lead in points. Dibble came in second. So we're going to see how that pans out. Rose, as I mentioned earlier, he had a win. He didn't race the first round, so when he gets a drop, he'll be a contender. But Dibble may have just shot himself in the foot with that one. That's a tough call for Dibble to try and make that move there. You would think perhaps there was enough room, and it looked like for a minute the GT3 was going to leave enough room. It just didn't happen, but instant responsibility goes to the trailing car as always.
Yeah. And Larry, I asked earlier what the cost of a second hood ornament was on a Porsche, and apparently it's a drive-through penalty.
10 seconds is all it's going to cost you. All right, so we're keeping our eye here on Ilya Speaker, closing quickly on Alex Brown. Half a second between them for the third step of the podium. As Fredericks in that number 20 splits them for the time being. So Tanner Dibble now just 4 seconds behind Fredericks. Don't know that 10 minutes is enough. We'll see. And there he is. He got some traffic to contend with. That's Jennifer McDonald. He gets by there.
We'll see here. Fredericks ends up having to follow a GT3 car or two down through the S's.
Ilya Speaker there.
Might be all they need.
Yeah, that's Speaker, and then he'll have Alex Brown in the same spot where he got it inside of Brian Bennett just a few laps ago that led to his penalty. This time he's going to wait for Brown until they clear turn 7. Smart move there as we go here with
Something
Avon
about
Dorsey.
discretion and valor.
There's Dorsey, Keith Stein. Oh, and we've got a change of the lead in GT3.
And I think Bennett might have had an issue coming out of turn 7. Either that or he was going to avoid a wild LMP2
well,
car. Let's take a look as they go into 7.
There's Bennett. Stays left. And oh no.
Oh no.
It's the two battling prototypes next to him that decided to aim for him. He recovers, but not until after.
And Larry, that was Caleb Lehman, I think, in the 819 that made contact with Bennett. Lehman's already had his time of adjudication in front of the stewards. It already had a drive-through penalty, but that could be catastrophic.
All right, well, he seems to have recovered. Now he's, of course, got Tanner Dibble, who was just involved in the past incident with him. He's going to say, no, Tanner, please, go on through.
And what
but
were
he
you
seems
saying
to recover
earlier, Larry? What would it take for one of these prototype cars to give Brian Bennett more than an inch to an inch and a half?
Well, he's driving angry now at this point. He's no longer worried about prototypes. He's going to drive angry, and look at Schwenke going to try and go defensive. Schwenke.
Wow, look at this run by the Porsche.
Did Schwenke get a bad exit? Maybe a missed downshift or something there?
Maybe.
Because he just let him by. I didn't see anything that looked like an off track unless he cut that corner, but I'm wondering perhaps if he missed a shift and it just came out of there with no power. He yanked the car hard right off the corner like something different happened, and that gave the lead back to Bennett. Bennett may have just lucked out. All right, so 7 minutes to go. And in GTP pace, that's probably about, I don't know, 6 laps.
6 laps, maybe?
Depending on where Ben Rose and Dalton Fredericks are, yeah.
Because I already shipped my Abacus to NCM Motorsports Park for you.
What'd you do with your Abacus?
I said I shipped it to NCM Motorsports Park.
Thank you. I'll need that next week.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so here is Charlie Osea with Avon Dorsey right behind him, and this is the battle for third. And just for good measure, Charlie Osea, Avon Dorsey. Who's the other car that was in this group?
That's Swabby? No.
Is it race leader Chinsky? I can't tell who that is.
No, I don't.
Trying to see car numbers. It is.
Is it?
Josh
or is it
Chinsky right in front of him. So these guys are a lap down. Yeah, so Chinsky a lap up on these guys. He's 58 seconds up on his nearest rival and Josh Vidal in second place. This battle for third is the battle you've all been waiting for, unless your name is Rocky Rocco.
Yeah, Rocky
may
Rocco.
Not be nearly as excited as we are.
Might want to close the chat window now.
Oh,
here we go.
Rocky, not the time to take a nap. Oh, maybe this is team orders as the 44 Dorsey goes inside Hosea and a pass it looked too easy.
But are the team orders let him by or just don't hit him?
This looked a little bit like Rubens Barrichello, Michael Schumacher, if you ask me. A little too coordinated there. But we'll see if that stands as Bennett still leads Swanky for the lead in GT3. And they've got a Jeff Brooks in front of them. Just as the 07 goes on through there. And I think... I'm losing track of who is who. That is Kyle
Schwenke
Strikers.
tries to come down underneath and tries to go deep under Bennett as they were coming up behind the Mustang of Brooks.
And now Josh Vidal just tries to go by in his LMP. He's in second place in that class. Wants no part of this battle. Brooks, I got to imagine it's going to yield to these guys here eventually. Mikey. Get blocked by Brooks. Brooks is going to play a part of this finally. Finally backs.
Brooks brings the car almost to a complete stop at 10B in order to let these two go, and that might be the most heads-up move of the night, Larry, because that's going to take it all three of them out.
Only it had been one corner earlier. Now the Corvette's to the inside of Bennett going in through one. He's going to back out, maybe.
Yeah,
nope.
Schwenke's tried this move before, couldn't make it work.
Coming up in 4 minutes to go. This could be a photo finish. We've seen this here at Atlanta before, where they come in side by side at a 10 and come all the way down the hill to the start stripe. We could be setting up for that again here in GT3. Bennett, a great exit out of 5.
Well, and we know that he gets that Porsche just hunkers down, gets a wonderful, wonderful dig out of 7.
Yeah, shows up there again. The Corvette just not able to do the same. But there's a couple of times now, though, we've seen Schwenke get a good exit and challenge Bennett. Flash ahead just for a minute. Jake Zito and Jair Alvarado at it again. Zito in the 19, Alvarado in the 113. They're side by side, and that is one of our Eagle Beavers in front of them. And that's contact.
Oh, no.
That's Alvarado spinning out. So they were side by side there. Alvarado loses out on that one. Zito continues. Not much damage, at least for Jair, but certainly the ego is going to take a hit. As we go back to this, that's Ilya Speaker. He's got Charlie Hosea, his teammate, just up there in front of him.
Oh,
Alex
and look
Brown.
at that, Larry. We've got a new third-place driver as Ilya Speaker gets around Alex Brown.
Yeah, good move there coming up through 1. But will it stick? Again, we're seeing a Mustang. Oh, this is where it gets interesting. Travis trying to use some of that passing traffic to his advantage. Bennett is just got either, if he's not got a prototype hitting him in the front or the side, he's got a Corvette in the back of him. More penalties are being issued, and that one sounds like it's going to be going to the 44 of Avon Dorsey, who's currently in 3rd in class, is about to serve a penalty.
And I believe that was for contact with Jim Pfeiffer.
All right, well, here you go. Pass for the lead. Down on the stripe. Bennett's ahead at the stripe, but the Corvette is there.
Yeah, but look at the run that the Porsche got out of the final corner, Larry, out of turn 12. And the Corvette just doesn't have the straight line speed of the
Hosea
Porsche.
backs off, but now puts himself between Schwenke and Bennett. Hosea's trying to get out of this battle. He finally does. He's trying to get 3rd in his own class now that his teammate had to serve a penalty.
So the Corvette looks like it's got the worst of all worlds, Larry. It doesn't get off the corner well, at least the slower corners, and it doesn't have the straight line speed that the Porsche has either.
No, the next time Ben Rose crosses start finish should be the white flag, as we're at the hour and 14-minute mark. He's probably somewhere on the back straight, somewhere just ahead of these guys. I don't know if there's a good enough run, although Bennett going defensive early. The Corvette horsepower's got an advantage.
All right, Larry, is Ben Rose crosses the start-finish line. He's starting the final lap now. Let's see if we can jump back to that GT3 battle.
Yeah, so again, Bennett gets a good exit there. May have been helped a little bit with Alvarado having to get on by in his GTP. They'll see the white flag this time by one more time around for them. Schwenke has tried everything and not been able to make the move stick. He's going to have more prototype traffic. That's Dalton Fredericks first coming up behind him. And I think that's going to be Jake Zito right behind him. Fredericks, of course, trying to finish in second. He wants nothing to do with anybody's traffic right now. Zito willing to mix it up a little bit, and Schwenke doesn't like that, I'm sure.
No, because that just cost Schwenke about 3 car
Bennett
lengths.
running wide at 5. Where's Bobby when you need him? Bennett stays on track, probably getting the 0x, a little off track for that one. Let's hope she doesn't have a slowdown penalty, as Tanner Dibble now trying to finish third. He's able to get by.
All right, and here comes Ben Rose, Larry, out of the final corners
And
underneath
Josh
the Fox
Chinsky,
Factory Bridge.
right behind them.
And taking the win in GTP tonight, Ben Rose in the number 5 Acura, finishing second. We'll see if Dalton Fredericks comes across, but Josh Chinsky followed Rose across the line. He takes the win in LMP2. Here comes that battle in GT3 as they come underneath the Fox Factory Bridge. Last chance for Schwenke, and he's not going to get there. Beaten on and banged on, Brian Bennett takes the win in GT3.
He took all the punches from everybody tonight. Talk about a well-deserved victory for Brian Bennett. Huh. Unbelievable race for Bennett to get that win here. Chinsky, huge drive there again, winning now his 4th straight in LMP2. Ben Rose, opportunity knocks. He took it, now gets a second win on the season. Second win in a row, I believe, winning at Spa 2 weeks ago, and then comes here to Road Atlanta. So he'll be a contender now as we turn into the second half of the season. But Bennett did what he needed to do, getting that victory hard-earned over Travis Schwenke.
All right, so Larry, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back in just a few moments when we'll have some of our podium finishers in the commentary box in the interview room. We'll talk to them. But first, we'll be back in just a few moments. You have just seen the final flag here at Road Atlanta in the Ricmotech Extreme Motorsports World Challenge. We'll be right back.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level championships, custom incident tracking, post-race time penalties, support for heats, drop weeks display, multi-car team scoring, advanced web widgets, rookie championships, a custom paint system, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Hundreds of name brand parts. Expert support. Ricmotech has you covered. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.
And welcome back to Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, where you've just seen round number 4 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. Let's go and take a look at that final classification once again. Coming off of he and his team's win at the virtual Petit Le Mans, it is Ben Rose from DNA Motorsports with the win in GTP. Dalton Fredericks finishing second. Tanner Dibble working his way back from that late drive-through penalty to finish in third. In LMP2, Josh Chinsky for SRT Esport takes the win with Josh Vidal second, and Charlie Hosea from Rockefeller Racing finishing in third. And then finally in GT3, Sector 5 Racing's Brian Bennett, your winner tonight, with Travis Schwenke from Orion finishing second, and Ilya Speaker from Rockefeller Racing taking the bronze medal in GT3. All right, we've got a couple of our racers standing by. Let's do this. Larry, let's bring in Ben Rose from DNA Motorsports, our winner tonight in GTP.
Well, it took until round 4 to finally have a 2-time winner in this season, and it's Ben Rose getting the win here at Road Atlanta. And Ben, it sounds like the DNA team had a pretty good run at the Petit Le Mans this week. You seem to follow it right up here. Tell me a little bit about your ride tonight.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, guys. Yes, we managed to win Petit Le Mans. But about this race, I unfortunately had a really bad qualifying. Dibbler was able to beat me by just a 10th. So we kind of talked about it, before that we were really going to fight to ensure that with the cold tires we wouldn't go off, because the track felt actually quite greasy during qualifying. And then Fredrickson got a much better start than me. And then I just kind of, hounded him until I was able to pass him. And then from then was just trying to catch up to Tanner. And I was trying to get into his head, so I was telling him that I was trying to sell him an extension on his car warranty. I think that might have helped, because I kept telling him, "Hey, I need to sell your warranty," and then I managed to save a lot of fuel. And
then he contacted another car and needed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think that got too much in his head, because, as I said, I managed to save a lot of fuel compared to him, and I kind of jumped him in the pits. So then when he was behind me, he was telling me, "Okay, now I need to sell you some car warranty," and we're kind of going on about that. But it was a fun race. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a continuation of Petit. It's unfortunate that Ryan had a really bad race, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seemed like looked like a lot of fun at times and stressful at other times. But having the Petit Le Mans practice just a week ago, where you guys won your split, had to help a little bit in traffic management, because it's all the same cars. Is that just a lot of good practice for a night like this?
Oh, definitely. Doing 239 laps with Petit is definitely kind of ingrained where I can and can't pass. Although, we have a variety of skill levels, so I was very cautious in certain sections, especially going into turn 1 and turn 3. And I was definitely not going to try to pass that, 4A and 4B before turn 5. But all those laps for Petit really helped out. We did drive the Cadillac, so I did kind of get acclimatized once again to the Acura. Thankfully, it didn't take too long, and I was kind of on pace right through qualifying and on.
Well done tonight, and you can tell Tanner maybe don't try to pass into turn 6. Just a little lesson learned for him tonight. He may have figured that out already.
It's a damn car warranty, I tell you. He was trying to get me for that, and I managed to get away and pull away from him.
Well, we were actually theorizing on how much it costs to get a Porsche hood ornament onto your GTP, and he may have just showed us. It takes about 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well,
by the way, guys,
it's a good thing, because Chase West was going to be going and trying to submit a claim under an uninsured motorist's fee.
I was going to say, how about you guys? Have you guys need an extension on your car warranty by any chance?
I think I'm good, but thanks.
I think I'm good.
All right, well, congrats on the win tonight, Ben, but I'm sure you got some folks you want to thank for helping you get it.
Definitely my teammates, Tanner, Ryan, Petit, and from here carrying over all that practice, all that time. It definitely helped out. Us pushing each other, and of course my wife, who's probably asleep now and doesn't really care, but I gotta thank her. I want to make it back to the next race.
Well, she'll appreciate it when she does wake up and watch this, I'm sure. She'll celebrate
Yeah.
the victory just like you are. So congrats. And maybe I do need insurance. I'm going to a track event next weekend. So we'll talk after the
Yeah,
race.
thank you guys again. Have a great night.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
All right, everybody. That's Ben Rose from DNA Motorsports, our GTP winner tonight. All right, let's move over to GTP, Larry, where Josh Chinsky from SRT Esport took the win.
All right. Joining us here, your LMP2 winner, Josh Chinsky. And Josh, you are making it look easy. How do you do it?
Oh, it's just the practice, man. I mean, I'm putting in so many hours. I mean, these guys are a great competition. I mean, I say that, but with the gap. But I mean, truly, they push me to be the best I can, especially when I've got Caleb, Kyle. I mean, my own teammates in this league. Unfortunately, they had some stuff happen that caused them to be placed further back. But I mean, once Dave comes back next week, and it's going to be, especially around Silverstone, it's going to be a battle. It's going to go back to being, and I'm pushing every single lap on the absolute limit of my tires. So I'm excited for it, man. I mean, it's just preparation.
Yeah, it was just surgical tonight. Every time we went to, we actually would see you in other shots while there's other action of other classes. And it's like all of a sudden, here's the number 18 pops up in the background. Hey, I think that's our LMP2 leader, just kind of making a cameo. But you never seem to be in their mix. You seem to have a knack for staying out of that fray. I don't know what it is, if it's just experience or if it's well calculated. We'd be watching another battle, let's say a GT3s, and you just far enough away to not get in their way. We were just talking to somebody that ran Petit Le Mans last weekend. Did you use that as experience around Atlanta, where not to engage with other classes?
So unfortunately didn't get to participate in the Petit Le Mans, but I've got a lot of multi-class experience, and also pretty much I work remotely, so almost all day today I had a monitor pulled up on the side watching Basic Ollie and his attempt at the Petit, making sure like, hey, where's the overtaking spots? Where should I really be lifting off? I mean, because especially at a track like Road Atlanta, there isn't a whole lot of overtaking spots, and the last thing you want to do is get caught up back behind somebody and lose all of your momentum onto a straight. So that was really the game plan for today, was try and make the passes where I could, but if I knew I was going to get held up, be slow in and fast out.
Yeah, well, it definitely paid off tonight. Clearly, you've done your homework on this one and studied it well, and it's for 4 rounds and 4 wins. I don't want to say unstoppable, but you certainly have you've made your footprints, and now it's time to go and I guess we'll take the rest of the walk, as you got the second half of the season to come, but it's a pretty good start for you.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome
We
job,
still
man.
got half a season, so it's way too early to be calling stuff. Anything can happen. It's not over till that checkered flag waves race 8.
Absolutely, you're totally on there.
If it waves on lap 8, we're all in trouble.
yes, we are.
Hey, maybe we all just run the
questions for
Nürburgring. We'll be
organizer.
fine.
I'm just glad he didn't say it till the fat lady sings.
I'll hard pass on that for the Nürburgring. Thank you, though.
All right. Well, you didn't have to run the Nürburgring. You just had to run this little Atlanta track, which did you pretty well tonight. We'll go to UK next 2 weeks now to get ourselves some Silverstone. But tonight you can celebrate this one. But I'm sure you got some friends and teammates that helped you. You maybe want to celebrate with them.
Oh yeah, Caleb, Kyle, thank you guys for being here, running the league with me. You guys are awesome teammates. It's like I said at the start, you guys are always pushing me to be better, because I know if I lapse 1 week, you guys are going to end up getting the edge on me. The rest of the SRT guys for watching, appreciate you tuning in, being here, supporting all of us as we try and make this team championship run in XMS. Just appreciate everything you guys do, and I'm looking forward to the remainder of the 4 races running under the SRT banner and for the foreseeable future.
Well, congrats. Awesome job tonight again, Josh. Another victory here for you. SRT Esports, Josh Chinsky taking the win on LMP2.
Thanks, Larry. See you guys.
Thanks, Greg. All right, Larry, let's move over now to Brian Bennett, our pinball of the night winner. Actually, our GT3 winner this evening, racing for Sector 5.
All right, Brian Bennett, I'm getting a little worried here. I was hoping you've got maybe like a first aid kit or something to patch up all the bumps, the bruises, the scratches, and everything, because you took every punch that every car in that track had tonight. You still came out with victory. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm pretty tired. Yeah, it was, I don't know, I was the one on the backstretch was kind of surprised, and then Travis, did the gentlemanly thing and let me back in front of him. But yeah, we're probably lucky there wasn't some more, because like one time we're coming into turn 10A and B, braking hard. There's a lapper there. If I follow him, Travis is gonna pass me, so I had to go for the inside dive, and it was close. It was close. There was some pretty aggressive defense and driving going on out there on my behalf. I usually don't ever go that hard.
Yeah, it seemed like every time an LMP2 comes up, they're taking every inch and they're just kind of pushing you around and trying to bully as they make their way through on their race. Maybe not recognizing that you're in a fantastic heads-up battle with Travis. It was just an amazing between you guys. It seemed like for a minute you had a couple of car lengths next to you, like coming out of the pit stops. All of a sudden he's right on you for the second half of this race. It's a ton of pressure, but against someone like Travis, it's got to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. I was came out of the pits, and there he is right there. He had, I think JRT says he took like 2.7 seconds less fuel than me, and we're going hard. And I took a little extra to need to go around for the photo, and I'm cutting it close. I'm thinking, man, he might be cutting it close. He might disappear pretty soon, but he was there the whole time. And he got stuffed by prototypes just the same as I did. So that's racing. I don't know what happened to Bailey. I don't know if he had another wheel disconnect or if he got punted, but that's a shame, because he was checked out. He was gone, and that's that. That's disappointing.
Yeah. Bailey was involved in an incident, unfortunately, that he was not able to recover from. But we'll see him again in a couple weeks. But that battle, that's the way this place is, though. You got to stay out of the fray as best you can, and you managed to deflect the fray tonight and keep the ticket. A couple times we thought maybe you were going to be done for with some of those hits, but somehow that Porsche just kept a little bit of take a lick and keep on ticking. So it was an awesome job tonight.
Thanks. Yeah, the one leaving turn 6 between 6 and 7 was pretty sideways. I think I don't know how many times I got hit right there, but I kept it straight, and everything is gravy. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hit the loud pedal.
Yeah, when you've got a GTP hitting you on the corner entry and you wobble whatever, and all of a sudden, deflect into an LMP2 in front of you, and somehow the car isn't dead yet. Yeah, you just keep going.
Yeah,
unbelievable stuff.
I didn't pick up any fresh damage there that I know of. My spotter thingy says my front end was damaged. Well, it was already damaged, so here we go. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. I'll have to watch the replay to figure out exactly what happened. And when they said they were going to investigate the incident, for all I knew, it was going to be my fault for being on the track. But I guess it wasn't.
No, that was on the back straight at the end.
That's right. They were just side drafted.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy stuff. But a win, a hard-fought, well-deserved win tonight, Brian. But I'm sure you've got friends and teammates that you want to give a thanks to for this one.
Well, yeah, I guess Jimbo kind of purposely went in front of Travis once when he didn't have to. So, Jimbo, thanks. That's whatever. That's good. I'd like to thank the promoters. Thank you guys, and wish all the best to Kevin Ford and so on and so forth. And just thanks to everybody. It was a great time, and I think I've had enough Road Atlanta for a couple weeks.
All right. Well, congrats tonight. Brian Bennett getting the win for Sector 5 Racing here in GT3. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, there you go, everybody. Your winners tonight here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. All right, let's take a look at what we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks on the schedule, Larry. Next Monday night at 8 p.m., we are going to have the Mini Mite Sports Car Challenge. That's our GT4 and LMP3 racers. They are going to be heading to Magny-Cours, heading over to France, and great Formula One track there, and should be a pretty good outlet for that series. Then in 2 weeks, as you mentioned, the World Challenge returns. We're going to be heading to Silverstone as we continue our trip to Formula One tracks over in Europe, and it is another 75-minute race. That's going to be round number 5 of the World Challenge. Then on November 11th, the Sports Car Challenge, the Mini Mite Sports Car Challenge is going to be heading to Suzuka. And of course, don't forget, come this January, the Touring Car Cup for our MX-5 Cup and GR86 Cup cars will return. All right, so for Jonathan Grabowski behind the scenes, for Larry Lefty McLeod, I'm Greg Ginsburg. We'll see you next Monday night, 8:10 p.m. And have a great week, everybody.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.